BES. But also, we'll also be looking at one of the trending issues. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have signed into law a presidential executive order to regulate virtual assets in Nigeria. But here is the background of our discussion today. Branding predates modern business and has always served as one of the fundamental purposes. That is differentiation of product maker or service provider. That means product maker and service provider are differentiated according to branding. In today's competitive marketplace, it is far more than a logo or a color scheme. Branding is the complete experience customers have with a business, from its packaging and customer service to its communication style and promise its consistency deliver. Every interaction shapes how a business is remembered. Particularly, a common misconception about people is that brand experts say is branding expensive or only accessible to large companies. In reality, effective branding begins with clarity, consistency, and authenticity. For small business owners, the brand often starts with them. They are the first and most influential face of their business, setting the tone for how customers perceive and trust their product or services. Joining me on the show today is no other person than Linda Ochugwu, who happens to be a digital sales manager at Business Day Media. We'll be joining me later on the show. Before we bring Linda on the show today, let's quickly rush through Nigerian stock market. A lot is happening on the market, but let's have a summary of it. Now, talking about Nigerian stock market as it stands today, it is a bullish outing with an aggregate of 137 listed companies, 27 gainers and 24 losers. Market cap 158 trillion naira. Market value 48.880 billion naira. A 10% improvement in volume, a 6% improvement in turnover, and a 10% improvement in dues. We have a one-week gain of 1%, a four-week gains of 6.43%, and year-to-date gains of 83.84%. Meanwhile, for the top gainers table, let's quickly check out the top gainers table for today and see the companies that are there. We have Boa Cement with 303 naira 1 kobo at a plus 9.97. First Holding Company at 105 naira 5 kobo at a plus 9.95. FTN Cocoa at 9 naira 29 kobo at a plus 9.94. And Thomas Way at 3 naira 39 kobo at a plus 9.71. We also have UBA at 42 naira 2 kobo at a plus 5.93. So for the top gainers, Boa Cement, First Holding Company, FTN Cocoa, Thomas Way, and UBA. But let's check out the top loser side of the table and see the companies that are there for today. Talking about the top loser side of the table, we have Sunu Assurance at 3 naira 6 kobo at a minus 10. Triple Leg at 3 naira 51 kobo at a minus 9.70. ABC Transport at 7 naira 05 kobo at a minus 9.60. And Abbey Bank at 9 naira 1 kobo at a minus 9.00. Where we have Wapik on the last on the table with 2 naira 4 kobo at a minus 7.60. So for top losers, Sunu Assurance, Triple Leg, ABC Transport, Abbey Bank, and Wapik. With this, let's check out the highest volume on Nigerian stock today. Access Corporation, 2,456 trade at 187 million naira shares. First Holding Company, 1,888 trading at 180 million naira. UBA, 2,084 at 21.7 million naira shares volume. And Zenith Bank, 3,694 at 21.5 million naira shares volume. Stanley Bank completed the table at 411 at 19.5 million naira shares. So for the highest volume, Access Corporation lead the table and rounded up by Stanley Nigeria. But for the highest value, companies with the highest value in trading of billions of naira, let's really take a look at companies with the highest value on Nigerian stock market for today. And we have First Holding Company, 1,888 trading at 19 billion naira. Access Corporation, 2,406 at 4.7 billion naira. Zenith Bank, 3,694 trade at 2.4 billion. GT Code, 3,658 at 1.8 billion naira. And HBM HBM is the latest company, though that is formerly known as Lafarge. Many of us have heard the story that some Chinese companies have come into Nigeria to invest money in cement manufacturing. And the company they choose to invest $1 billion into is Lafarge. So the company is now known from Lafarge to HBM Manufacturing Nigerian Company. So you are hearing it. HBM, formerly known as Lafarge, is now one of the leading companies with over 1.5 billion value worth of shares on the Nigerian stock market. With this, let's really go global and see what is happening to energy price across the world, particularly that the stories around Nigerian oil and gas sector, with PMS price now being priced from Dangote at dollar rate. But we'll talk more about that in coming days on the show. But for today, let's have a view of the WTI price, Brent, and others. We have WTI at a minus 0.55, Brent at a minus 0.71, Bonny Light at a minus 0.80, and Open Basket is the only product with a plus today at a plus 0.94 today. But let's check out the other product, talking about natural gas, coal, ethanol, and the rest of them. For natural gas, this is a plus 2.10, coal a plus 0.21, ethanol a plus 0.65, and gasoline is on the poor side with a minus 0.424 today. And energy price is quite changing across the world. Many are talking about the resurgence or the coming back of the Iran-US war. And one of the fear factor of this war is that we'll have another high-stake on the Strait of Hormuz, where the United States of America will be collecting 20% of shipping cost on every ship that is going to move out of the Strait of Hormuz. More of that will be given to us when it comes to global update, when Amamakos and Grace Ikpe of ADB will be coming a global update later on their channel. But let's quickly check out what is happening to precious and industrial metal and see the price of gold, silver, copper, and steel. For gold, this is a plus 1.44, silver a plus 4.91, copper a plus 2.90, steel a minus 0.46 as it stands today. Interestingly, only for steel, the rest of the products are gradually coming out of their shade, particularly for gold. I said something on the show yesterday. I said, due to the Middle East crisis, the US-Iran war, a lot of investors are shifting their investment tally to gold. But all of a sudden, we are seeing the price of gold also coming out strong this period. We just hope we can sustain, because that will really happen in late February, and not much was heard because many have to pull out their money from gold and begin to seek for other investment umbrella. But for today, gold is now a plus 1.44, silver a plus 4.91, copper a plus 2.90, and steel a minus 0.46 as it stands. Well, let's check out the rest of the precious and industrial material and see their price benchmark for today. Talking about iron ore, palladium, platinum, and lithium. Lithium is on the wayside of poor outing. Someone said something critically on lithium and said, the price of lithium in the month of July has not been very impressive, and he hoping that this price will not be carried over into the last part of third quarter of the year. We're in the third quarter of the year, talking about June, July, August. And one of the analysts is saying is hope that the price of lithium can change, because countries like Nigeria are really looking onto lithium to boost the economy and boost the exploration of mineral in Nigeria, particularly for revenue for government. So the poor percentage in price of lithium is really disappointing, I would say, at a minus 4.95 for today. Although for iron ore also at a minus 1.06, palladium, platinum are rising by the day. I noticed that since yesterday that the price of palladium and platinum are really showing great fault in the green pyramid, showing that their price is really rising at a plus 1.34. Meanwhile, for platinum, a plus 2.13 of today. With this, let's go and check Nigerian FX market. A lot is being said on regards to CBN coming out with their communique by 2 p.m. today, and I trust ADB will be giving us bit by bit of what the CBN MPR for the third quarter will really mean, and we'll get to know about that. For today, US dollar to Naira, it is 1,380 against US dollar today, 1,857 against the British pounds, 1,575 Naira against Euro, and 983 Naira against Canadian dollar. So you can see that the pyramid is still in red. It shows that Naira didn't add any upper hand when it comes to exchange rate gain today. So Naira lost today against the US dollar. It also lost against the British pounds. And the British pounds have gotten a new prime minister, a very interesting person, I would say. We'll get to know more about this new prime minister of Britain that was elected yesterday. And against Euro also, Naira performed, with a 1 Naira gain today, and also against Canadian dollar, Naira didn't perform at all. It lost 13 Naira against the Canadian dollar today. But let's check out the rest of the currency and see the exchange rate. Will I say volatility or uncertainty? The rest of the currency are talking about Naira. Yen is 8 Naira, 49 Naira. Against Riyadh of Saudi Arabia, 367. Against the Yuan of China, 203 Naira. Against the Rand of South Africa, 83 Naira, 68 kobo for today. So against the first two currencies, Naira made a great gain, a 3 kobo gain against the yen of Japan, 1 Naira gain against the Riyadh of Saudi Arabia. Although on the side of the Yuan and Rand, Naira lost, hopefully. Naira lost 1 Naira against the Yuan of China today, and it also lost 40 kobo against the Rand of South Africa. Interesting. Well, this much we can take on terms of the energy commodity, exchange rate volatility across the world, and precious industry. But we're going for a break now, and when we return, we'll be joining my guest, Linda Ochogbu, will be helping us to dissect, analyze, explore perspectives on small, medium enterprise branding in Nigeria. But let's go for this short break first.
Every second, a story breaks.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has formally presented the 2026 appropriation bill to the National Assembly.
The nation reacts. The world shifts. History moves in real time. Before the noise, before the opinions. One screen keeps you connected. From the headlines shaking the nation to the stories everyone talks about tomorrow. Stream anytime, anywhere. When the story matters, you know where to turn. ADBN. A part of you.
Every day, decisions are made, policies are announced, challenges emerge, and lives are changed. But beyond the headlines, beyond the politics, beyond the noise, are the conversations that matter. On Softline, Nigeria's leading voices unpack the issues shaping our future, from governance to business, education, healthcare, technology, security, and the economy. Real conversations, expert insights, solutions that move the nation forward. Because understanding today's decisions shapes tomorrow's opportunities. Now airing 4 p.m. every weekday and Saturdays. Softline, where informed decisions begin.
In Biggie's house, there's no place to hide. And even when you think no one is watching, the energy can swing in an instant. This BB Naija Season 11, everything burns brighter. Only the biggest moves tip the scale, because nothing is given, but everything is for the taking. When the world watches, will you be outshined, or will you step up and take the spotlight? Big Brother Naija Season 11 starts Sunday, July 26th, showing 24/7 on DSTV Channel 198 and GoTV Channel 49. Headline sponsor, Bet Power.
Welcome back. Talking about perspective of SMEs branding in Nigeria, we'll be taking a look at the strategical value of why SMEs must carry out branding of their product or service. So I'm being joined right now by Linda Ochogbu, Digital Sales Manager at Business Day Media. Hello, and welcome to Market Report Show, ma.
Hi, good afternoon, and thank you so much for having me.
All right, so let's get straight to our discussion point. I know these are the aspects that I know you are so passionate about, talking about impacting, supporting small businesses across Nigeria. But first, let's understand, when we talk about branding, what does really entails?
Okay, so when we talk about branding for SMEs, I think that SMEs need to understand that it goes beyond just logos, colors, and registering a social media page. For some SMEs, you just hear the things like, oh, I've started an Instagram page, I have my color, I have my logo, but it's beyond that. Now, I tell my SME clients that they need to first of all understand how their customers perceive them. How do they see you? What are they expecting from you? Those things would help you when you're creating your brand identity, and it will depend on the kind of product and service you're offering. So for instance, if you're offering a product for kids, then the brand colors have to be very bright. Your logo has to be easily identifiable, that it aligns with children. And then also if it has to do with, a product or a service, making sure that everything aligns. So it's not just about the logo. It's not just about the color. You must also find out, how will your customers see you? If you have a good logo and you're not offering a good service and your customers feel like your service is not perfect and your product is not good, then something is missing. So it must be that you have a perfect logo and a perfect brand and the colors match and what you're standing for matches with what you tell your customers that they should know you for. Really very key for you to stand out as a small business.
All right, interesting. But the next question I'll quickly ask you is that, are there affordable branding for SMEs that we can give to them, or it has been offered to them in your own understanding? Are there affordable branding cost for them, or price? Let me put it that way.
Yes, I totally agree that affordable branding exists. Now, I think the myth here is that most people actually mix affordable branding with cheap branding, and I'd like to really kind of differentiate that. Now, for some brands, right, they feel like if they're going to advertise, they will just take up any kind of advertising. And I tell SMEs that you don't have to be on a billboard advert for you to also advertise. The first thing is for you to find out who your customers are. Where exactly can we find your customers? And people that can afford your service, where would they be? And how do we find the right channel to be able to advertise? So I think the word here is the right channel. If you find the right channel, for instance, and that right channel is good for your business, then you can then find out how to advertise through that channel and it will not break the bank. So for instance, let's use that you are a business, you're running a small business and you're doing well, and it's a corporate training business. You're then thinking, there are some social media platforms you want to advertise, but they're not in line with your brand, where you're going to, what you stand for, and the type of things you want to do. So you have to be very careful. So you can actually use good business brands that actually, for instance, like Business Day, that have packages for small businesses. And then when they advertise for you, because they have a good SEO, people will want to associate with your brand because you are on the right platform. So remember the keyword I said here, the right channels. Because some platforms or some small businesses are advertising everywhere. And sometimes they're even going to the places they shouldn't be. But if you understand where your customers are and you understand the right channel, then you then find how to advertise to them in the affordable way. So for instance, I would say a small business can start from a newspaper ad, an online story, a small to the TV and to the billboards. You must understand where your customers are and then how to get to them.
Interesting. But you have just said something very critical now, because in media community, which me and you work, we have had this issue, particularly for broadcast media, when it comes to branding for small businesses. The commercial aspect of it has become something that we need to think through before we can bring any small business on. But if you are to suggest or advise media houses, particularly TV stations out there, what do you need to tell them about encouraging small business to come on board and do their branding?
So, because I deal with a lot of small business owners, the first thing they fling out of the box is advertising and branding. They have this myth in their head and in their mind that advertising, especially when it comes to TV and billboard, they just feel like, oh, it's too expensive. Don't bring it close to me. I don't want to advertise on TV. I can't afford it. And it's a very dicey one, because if we understand, the last time we were on this station, we talked about the number of small businesses we have, and that they make up about 80% of the entire economy and the impact they have in trying to employ people and all that. So imagine that 80% of these small business owners can find a package and a way to advertise on TV and radio. That would be massive for the TV guys. Now, I totally understand that the cost of running the TV is really very expensive. So it will be almost impossible to be able to bring everybody together to come on TV. But I am always of the advocate that we can find ways and packages to help the SMEs. So what do? We can find 2, 3, 4 SMEs coming together to say, you know what, we have a 1 minute or 2 minute TV ad. How can we combine our resources together and still be able to afford to run TV? So we can't afford to leave the SMEs out of advertising and branding. Exactly. The TV stations have to find a way to say, how can we bring these guys in? Can we have sometimes that is not so expensive and peak period and create a kind of value for them that will be affordable? Remember, the key word I mentioned the first time was the right channels, and then number 2, affordability. Exactly. They would love to advertise, but the cost of the expense is too much. So imagine that you're telling a small business owner to take up a TV ad of almost $1 million. How much is their entire branding spend? So you see that we are losing our customers who will come on TV to advertising more on social media platform because they feel like it is affordable and then they can reach more people and it is cheaper. But you can also reach the Nigerian market through the right TV channels and at a very good rate. So we just need to think out of the box how to bring them.
Exactly. Now, going forward into our discussion so that we can begin to make some recommendation for people out there. One of the quick questions many people also want to know is that if we brand a small SMEs business, will it also bring out the growth of that business, or it will just be bringing it small, or do you think there's going to be an evil break for that business? Because Nigerian business leaders or business community are looking for something that they put money in their investment today and they want to see the harvest tomorrow or next tomorrow. But what do you have to say about how branding drive SMEs growth in Nigeria?
Okay, so this is really very funny because it's a lot of questions.
Exactly.
Yes. I tell people, especially small businesses that I deal with, that advertising and branding is not a ritual business. It's not magic. It's not you put it today and it's tomorrow. Hell, I have to be very truthful to you from the very beginning. And advertising and branding is like sowing a seed in the ground. When you put a seed in the ground, you don't go back the next day to open it to see if the seed has actually started germinating and is growing. You have to leave it. You have to consistently take care of it, water it, put nice manure around it. You have to go there every day checking on it, making sure that wild animals don't come and destroy the seed you have planted. And you have to be patient. And remember, depending on the kind of seed that you're planting, some can take a year, some can take 10 years, depending. So if you imagine if it's cassava, it's 6 months, 8 months ready. But if it is coconuts or a palm tree, 5 to 8 years. So I tell small business owners, you can't just advertise once and expect to see magic. That is absolutely not true. When you advertise, you have to understand that you have to be patient. Remember I said the channels that you're using, where exactly are your customers found? How do you find them? How do you reach them? And you have to be consistent. So every day you make sure that you're out there, an interview, a story, somebody's writing about your brand. You have adverts or banner ads. You have social media ads to add to it. What will people see about you when they search about both your brand and yourself? Every story has to align, and everything you put out there must align with whatever you say you are. So, for instance, if you say that our brand stands for speed and delivery on time and our service is impeccable, make sure that everything you are saying aligns with it. One should not differ. And if you make sure that everything aligns with it, please be patient. You can't just advertise one day on TV and expect 10,000 people to come to you. No, that's not true. If you advertise, you have to be consistent and you have to make sure that you're patient. It's like somebody saying, oh, I took a bath yesterday, so I'm not going to take my bath tomorrow. Oh, no, that's not true. You have to exactly. Every single day. And that's like the simplest way I explain advertising. You can't stop. You can't give up. And you must remain consistent. All right.
Before I let you go, Linda, there's one aspect of SMEs we also need to quickly correct some impression around them. You know, most of them go into branding, but they have this notion, and we need to correct that notion. One is that the mistakes when it comes to that damage the reputation of SMEs, the branding mistakes that damage their reputation.
When you say branding, you're talking about some of the mistakes.
Yes.
Right. I think for me, it's important that they understand who they are. So when I meet some small businesses, I always ask them, who are you? And then what do your customers feel about your brand? That's now perception. You must make sure that they are aligned. So sometimes you feel like your product is a very luxurious product. And meanwhile, the customers are using your product for something absolutely not luxurious, meaning that your perception of your brand and product and their perception of your brand and product does not align. So you must make sure that your customers also understand who you are, where you are, what you stand for, and where you're going to. Now, if you understand these basics and in terms of, then that then helps you to create the right product, the right service, the right logo, the right branding, logos and promotion, everything you need to make sure that it aligns. One mistake is that sometimes some customers think differently about themselves, different from what their customers feel. So I feel like for you as a small business owner, before you start whatever business you want to start, make sure that you do what is called the market research. So you are finding out what I say my customers use my product or my service for is exactly what they use it for. And everything that we are saying is an alignment. If we can actually find that they are in alignment and these things work, I think some small business owners would avoid issues that they are having with, their branding and the things that they do.
Interesting. I really need to appreciate you for coming on the show. Although it's a developing issue, a developing perspective, although you are so passionate about this branding of small businesses in Nigeria, and you have written a lot in that regard. Thank you so much, Linda Achugbo, Digital Sales Manager, Business Day Nigeria Limited. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. I've been speaking with Linda Achugbo, who happens to be a colleague in the media circle, and also but passionate about, the advertising part of the media, as well as branding for small housing challenge in Nigeria. So we have someone from one of the finest real estate provider in the FCT and across Nigeria. We'll be talking to us about housing deficit in Nigeria and how their company is also putting up contribution to cover the gap. But let's go for this break first.
It doesn't take a pandemic or an epidemic to know that clean hands save lives. Hand washing is essential anytime, anywhere to protect your health. So keep washing your hands, not just when they're dirty, but even on the go. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep your hands clean.
Every day, across forests, highways, towns, and villages, brave men and women stand watch so that Nigeria can sleep. They leave their families behind, confront danger head-on, and make sacrifices many of us will never see. Yet, the enemies of our nation continue their assault. They target our children. They murder innocent citizens. They force families from their homes. They turn thriving communities into places of fear and uncertainty. Their goal is simple: to break our spirit, divide our people, and steal the future of our nation. But Nigeria is stronger than terror. As we demand greater accountability, stronger security measures, and more effective action from those entrusted with our safety, we must also play our part. Support our security forces, salute their gallantry, stand with those who stand for us. If you see something, say something. Let us be our brother's keeper. We must never surrender to fear, despair, or hopelessness. This is not tribe, not by religion, not by region, not by political party. Because terror recognizes no ethnicity, no faith, and no ideology. Its enemy is all of us. And together, united as one people, we can defeat it. For our children, for our communities, for our future, for Nigeria. Join the movement. Stand for our country. Stand for one another. Hashtag Unite Against Terror.
Recall that the nationwide CVR exercise commenced on 18th August 2025 and was originally scheduled to conclude on 10th July 2026. But INEC has now approved a 2-week extension of the exercise in order to provide additional opportunity for eligible citizens who are yet to register. The Commission has extended the exercise to Sunday, 26th July 2026. The Commission has also introduced a self-service registration option online for eligible first-time voters. Visit the dedicated CVR portal, where step-by-step guide is also provided. We urge all eligible Nigerians who are yet to register to take advantage of this extended window and explore the new voter registration technology option.
Every day, decisions are made, policies are announced, challenges emerge, and lives are changed. But beyond the headlines, beyond the politics, beyond the noise, are the conversations that matter. On Softline, Nigeria's leading voices unpack the issues shaping our future, from governance to business, education, healthcare, technology, security, and the economy. Real conversations, expert insights, solutions that move the nation forward. Because understanding today's decisions shapes tomorrow's opportunities. Now airing 4 p.m. every weekday and Saturdays. Softline, where informed decisions begin.
Welcome to the Niger Delta, a region of incredible beauty and stark contrast. From its breathtaking landscapes to its rich cultural heritage, this is a place where history and modernity collide. But beneath this serene surface lies a story of struggle and resilience. The Niger Delta is the lifeblood of Nigeria's economy, home to vast oil reserves that fuel the nation, yet it is a land where the people fight for their share of the wealth. Join us on the program Niger Delta Today as we explore the heart of the Niger Delta, discover the vibrant cultures, the struggles for environmental justice, and the stories of the people who call this place home. This is the Niger Delta, a land of contrast, a story of resilience, a journey of hope. Don't miss our exclusive series, Niger Delta Today, every day at 12 noon, only on AGBN TV. Witness the untold stories, experience the journey, be part of the change.
Welcome to FCT in Focus, your window to the vibrant heartbeat of Nigeria's capital. We dive deep into the core of the FCT, exploring how key policies and decisions shape lives across the city. From exclusive insights into the FCT administration to voices from the streets, we bring you stories that matter. Catch FCT in Focus every Saturday and Sunday at noon. Tune in for the latest stories directly from the nation's hearts.
Welcome back to the Market Report Show, where we have our guest in the studio in the person of Ambassador Ambassador Lubumi Meregbadewole, who happened to be the Executive Director of Crown Luxury Properties, as well as Managing Director of Crown B Properties. But before we begin to ask her some questions around housing deficits in Nigeria and how our companies have been contributing to cover the gaps, let's have this report from ADBN Marketing Department for our view.
Hello, I'm here at the African International Housing Show, holding here at Transcorp Hilton. So this is day 3 of the show, and it's a very beautiful site. Companies here exhibiting what they have and their projects and their different locations.
Crown Luxury Properties, which is also known as Crown Ally Global Realty and Homes Limited, and Crown B Global Service. We're into properties, both for the high, the medium, and the low. And we cut across not only in Nigeria but also abroad, and we make sure that as much as possible our products should be affordable, and because one of our vision is to make everyone a landlord as much as possible, so we are really trying to bring that into the real estate sector as a company. We have several areas, like for example in Abuja, we're in Apple, our very fast selling estate now. Solo City Apple by Burum. We have the Wasa. We have in Kurasana the Crown Resort and Park Kurasana. We're in Idu Skyline. And so several other places. Like Idu, we are in Kiami, we are in Kurasana, we are in Apple, we are in Gusape, Asokoro. So you can see it's really cut across a lot of places. In fact, we have in Gagalada. Actually, we make sure that we have terraces as low as 9 million naira. Don't get me wrong, the 9 million naira is because it's a FCDA approved with a C of O certificate. So all our products are C of O FCDA. So that's why you are getting it like this, because any product that does not have C of O automatically might be cheaper. But because we want to that I want to give you peace of mind, so make sure that our documents are intact, and we give you the highest of the high, which is the C of O FCDA. So the list is 9 million naira, and we have various prices actually, depending on the location. You know, the location and the infrastructure to that assets development really affects or determines what a product or price is going to be. With as low as the 50% or more, even 30% or more, you can start with us, and we have a spread payment of like 3 months, because any company that gives you spread payment more than 3 months, definitely there's no way you can have progress or development in that estate. And until when you finish payments, then you move to site. So the delay in payments affects your movement to site, no matter how it is. Yeah, we're in Asokoro. That's number 2 Samora Machel Street, Asokoro. And we are also at 2nd floor Westwood Plaza in Asokoro, beside Keystone Bank.
It's been a very wonderful experience here at the African International Business Show, holding at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel. I've had a very beautiful experience interacting with different business owners, and I hope you had a beautiful experience too. Thank you for staying with me.
Welcome back. That's quite interesting. I already have the person that most of us are watching on TV right now, physically in the studio. Ambassador, you are welcome to Market Report.
Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor to be here today, and I'm so delighted that I'm on this to really talk about what is happening in the real estate sector.
Exactly. But let's start first. One of the major questions anybody is interested in is, why are we having housing deficit up to 14 million in Nigeria?
I will really say that if you want a good policy or standard in a country, a lot of things has to be put in place. And because of that, is affecting how some people can get access or can afford the housing that is available. But not that people can't afford it, or not that it can't be accessible to people, but definitely everyone wants to stay in the central area. They want to stay where there is infrastructure and all. So, and we need to really applaud the FCT minister with the great thing he's doing at the moment, because he's really opening roads, doing infrastructure to some suburbs area. Let's put FCT in as our focus today, because that's where we are.
Exactly.
So he's really doing a lot to make sure that he bridged the gap, and we must applaud him for that. But the thing is, there's still more to be done. There's still more to be done, because Nigeria housing deficit remains significantly. It's so serious, because millions of people are still there without no houses, without no affordable houses to really live, and that is creating pressures on families and slowing economic growth. So how do we do that? We need to close the gap. So if things are in place, automatically it will close the gap with creating jobs, boosting investment, and improve living standard.
Exactly. Now that you have said we need to close the gap, I understand you are part of the people that were at the last housing conference here in Abuja. And, one quick way to quickly assess your own understanding or appreciation of the conference is, what are your takeaways from the conference so far?
Wow. I must say, and I will keep applauding people. I must say a big thanks to the conveyor of Africa International Housing Show, because the conference really enforced, and it was an eye-opener. It brings stronger collaboration between the government and private developers. It's the innovation about it was so fantastic. Financing, innovative financing and policy. Those are the things that can really promote affordable housing. So there are a lot of people that knows your brand as a company, a real estate company, but had never come to the office. And they've been hearing your products. So that avenue really brought them close to you, face to face. And I feel that it was also an opportunity for people to know who is in the real estate sector, and who is genuine and who is not genuine. Because the way I'll say Barrister Festus streamlined the whole thing, he really did his due diligence to make sure that you can't have developers that are not genuine in that place. He won't accept it. So that was a great one. And it's most especially, I believe that the avenue was also to create job for people, because in our booth, like the Crown Luxury Properties stand, we have so many people who wanted to be an affiliate with us. We have so many people that want to partner with us. We have so many realtors coming. So you imagine somebody that has been looking for a job ever since and didn't see any, and go say, let me market your product. By the time he sold, he also has his percentage that he's getting. So we've actually bridged something in that place and making sure that that person has food on his table. So the conference was really a good one, and I will say we need more of this in order to create, to get close. And another thing was that the government representatives were there.
Exactly. But because of time, let's really take on what Crown Luxury Properties, as well as Crown Breed Properties, is doing to ensure that we have affordable housing in Nigeria.
Okay. For our own organization, which is Crown Luxury Properties and the sister company Crown Breed Properties, we are committed to provide quality, affordable housing, develop sustainable estates, and making ownership accessible through flexible payment plan. So this is what we do. We make sure that when you invest with us, automatically you can go to sleep. You are rest assured, because our titles are FCDA, which is the highest title anybody should have. So now, in order to make it affordable for people, we try to see, we have the light of the terrace duplexes. So if you cannot afford the full detached, standalone, you cannot afford the semi-detached, two together, you should be able to afford the terraces That's like 4 or 5 joined together, even the block of flats. So we've really tried as much as possible. And with that, it's now reduced and cut down the price that it should be. And our aesthetics, we make sure that the building are also, in terms of the aesthetics, they are looking good, they are nice, but we make sure that quality products are used.
Exactly. Now, in terms of financing, let's say someone to take up one of your property, in terms of finance, in terms of payment structure, how flexible are they?
Wow. We have a very good payment plan, and we start with 50 or more, 30 or more first payment, and spread the remaining over 3 months. Why do we do that? Because most of the industry, when you buy property in a place and they are giving you 1 year, 2 years to really pay, it means that there won't be development. And so what is the whole essence of you investing in a place and your ROI is stagnant? Your return on investment, or when you need to use the house or the land as a collateral, is still the same. But with us in Crown Luxury Properties and Crown B Properties, it's not like that. When you buy something from us in 3 months, just know that it has increased, because we are always on our toes to make sure that things are put in place and there's significant progress in it. I must applaud the MD CEO, Crown Luxury Properties, Dr. Amos Gbadewole Kayode, who is my husband. He's doing tremendously well in the sector. He's also the vice chairman of REDAN, Real Estate Association of Nigeria, the Abuja chapter. He's really, really trying to make sure that we can, because our vision actually is to make everyone a landlord as much as possible.
Exactly. Interesting. When you talk about landlord, because we need to quickly take a look at the aspect of low earners. You know, people someone who is staying in Masaka, who wish to be one of your clients or one of your customers. Do you have product for such people?
We have something close to what they can get. That's why, for example, we're in Gwagwalada. So if you can't afford something in Asokoro, Gusape, Karasana, Idu, you should be able to afford something in Gwagwalada, Lugbe, Azis. So, and with the recent one actually in Apo, is a very good one. Like one of the good things that we did in the last 2 months was giving payment, giving a 50% off on our property. Like a COVO, FCD COVO land, worth 9 million was given at 4.5 million.
That's great.
That was we just wanted to create that platform that if you can have this, then you can have, let's give you a 50% off, get a property as low as this. And so many people that engage are really smiling right now.
And because they're already watching you, and many will be interested in coming. But for future expansion, are there plans? You know, you're in Abuja. I don't know whether you're in Lagos or in Port Harcourt. So what are your future plans?
Okay, very, very good, because we're actually in these places that you mentioned. In Abuja, we are like in different locations. We have close to like 30 different estates in Abuja. We have in Lagos, we're in Ibadan, we are in Ibadan, Oyo State. We're in Osun State as well. And we have a presence in Rwanda and in Ghana. So, but one thing is every state and every country with their own policy. So you need to master where you want to enter so that you don't jeopardize what you have built and waste people's money. Exactly. So which we're always very careful. There's a saying that I and my husband normally say that our name is far important than any other thing. So we'll put significant on our name. So we know that if you are investing with us, it's not even about your money. It's about the fact that we must deliver what we are telling you that we're going to do.
I really want to appreciate you for coming on the show. I've been speaking with Ambassador Olubunmi Mary Gbadewole. She is the Executive Director, Crown Luxury Properties, and Managing Director, Crown B Properties. Thanks for coming on the show. I want to see more of your face. I want to see you coming to talk about properties of Crown Luxury here on the Market Report Show and ADBN.
Okay. You will see more of me.
Exactly.
And we believe that we also plan to expand over our development across more locations, introducing more affordable housing scheme and strengthening partnership that will enable more Nigerians to own quality homes.
I believe that partnership will extend to ADBN. All right, very interesting perspective coming from Ambassador Olubunmi Mary Gbadewole, Managing Director of Crown B Properties, as well as Executive Director, Crown Luxury Property. She has been fantastic when it comes to telling us how our companies and how government policies have really supported them to build over 30 estate sites in Abuja. My name is Ade Folarin Olamile. Until we come here with another exciting market report show, I say to you, be a good citizen and stay out of trouble. Bye for now.